Welcome to my virtual study. This is a green screen, and I'm Graham Codrington.
And I'm Carel Nolte.
And we're two good friends who are both interested in the future, especially the future of investing. I asked Carel if he'd spend a few hours with me chatting about the future of investing. He said he would only do that if we drink wine. Made sense to me, no problem at all. And what I wanted to do was to talk about what could we do to improve investing in the future. Easy Equities, which is a company you've been involved in starting and getting going, has tried to make investing easy for people. You've done more than just build a great platform that is easy to use. You've got a goal of getting people investing who maybe didn't think they could invest. So the 50 Rand a month person. But you also have wanted to bring in people who have been investing for a long time. And for me, that is one of the improvements. I'm a huge believer that in the future of technology, building platforms, so a platform play like WeChat or Alibaba or Amazon, where we're not trying to compete with other people, we're just trying to create a platform that everybody can work on and everybody can benefit from. That seems to me to be one of the things that is the future, and you guys are doing that. Because anyone can join you, including brokers. You don't have to leave your existing system to come to Easy. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely, Graham. And I think part of it is, there's a lot of value in brokers, there's a lot of value in financial advisors, so use that. And many brokers do, personally, many brokers do for their clients and then add other services. But one of the things that we've seen with Easy Equities is that people need to trust themselves and have confidence. We've grown up in an environment where people are told you're not clever enough, or you don't have enough money, you don't have enough of this. So we've had many people that are millionaires that haven't invested, and you think, how is that possible? But they've been made to feel stupid as millionaires, and so now they come into the platform. So it is very much enabling anybody in any way to access the opportunities to invest.
And there's lots of different things to invest in. So you don't only have to invest in shares. We talked about this in one of the previous videos we recorded. But you guys will listen. If somebody comes into your community and says, I'd love to invest in racehorses, you're going to try and find a way to do that if there's enough people interested.
Absolutely. And it's important for us also not to malign others. So we're product agnostic. So we're not going to tell, Graham, you must invest in that, because it might not make sense for Graham. We want to be a platform, and we are a platform where we put all these investment opportunities forward, whether it's unit trusts or shares or local or international. We want to give education, we want to give support, we want to make it fun, we want to make it easy, we want to make it the most affordable way to invest, and then you will choose. And importantly, Graham, we trust that people have enough intelligence to make that choice. And what I have seen is that sometimes people don't believe that of themselves. And so a big part of my marketing job is to tell people you're actually smarter than you think that you are. And I can now confidently say that after the period that we've been around as Easy Equities for many years, because I look at the data. So I look at people who are first-time investors, I look at teenagers, I look at people in their 80s, I look at women, I look at young black South Africans. They are smart investors. And so it's a thing when I get really frustrated about things in our country and the world, which I often do, that gives me a tremendous sense of hope, is I look at the behavior of these investors. Whether it's the 17-year-old black student who's invested 17 Rand, or the 70-year-old white rich millionaire, and there are many touch points. We're not that far apart.
Yeah. And some people will do what I did, which is I had a portfolio that I was investing very traditionally via a bank and the banking system. You invited me to try out Easy a little while ago, and absolutely loved it. Easy to transfer things across. But that doesn't mean I don't listen to my bank, and I don't listen to the
and you might still
the
have
brokers there. Yeah, no, exactly. And I think for me, the future of investing is all about options, opportunities, but I love the word that you added in there, fun. Tell me a little bit more about that. Why should investing be fun? Isn't it serious?
No, not at all. I mean, it's one thing I learned from Charles, the founder of Easy Equities, because I was like, man, it can't be fun. I don't really understand. But it is fun, learning about your investments, sharing it with your family, talking around a bar with your mates. It's super fun. It really, we've seen it over the years. I go to dinner parties and there are people comparing their portfolios. So investment should be fun. Life is a hell of a short. Let's not waste it, being negative. And it's true also of our platform. we don't see ourselves as competing against a bank or against a broker. There is enough of this investment pie to go around, and we should all work together to uplift the investment community. I mean, Easy Equities got 1.5 odd million at the time of recording this clients. We're in a country of what, 50, 60 million people? It's a very poor stat. There are so many people that need access to investment. We can work together. Sure, I'm going to compete with other people, but not in a way of stabbing them in the back. We can all work together.
And sharing insights and sharing data, because if we all get rich, we're all fine.
Absolutely.
It's not as if only one of us can get rich and everybody else has to not.
Absolutely. And in a country like South Africa, and maybe it's not just us, Graham, we all have to succeed, otherwise it's going to be a problem. We can't increase this Gini coefficient, and I mean it's on a moral basis, and I know you agree, it's unacceptable morally. But from an economic perspective, it's going to be our ruin. So.
I must say that was one of the things that attracted me to investing via Easy, is not just how easy it is, but your philosophy behind it, the reason you put it together, which is to make sure that more South Africans generate wealth, that more South Africans are able to access investments, and more South Africans save for the future. That's our only route out of where we are now.
Absolutely. Now, I'm really interested which wine you've chosen.
Yeah,
glance the label.
Exactly. I'll be honest with you, this was a disappointment because I thought I was going to introduce you to something. So we haven't shown all the labels, but I want to show you this one. This is Ataraxia, and I only discovered this just a little while ago. I know you're a huge Sauvignon Blanc fan. So when I thought the last video that we were going to do together was going to be about improving things, I thought, I am going to really, really blow Carel's socks off, because I know you enjoy a good Sauv Blanc. Anybody who follows you on Facebook will see you often with a Sauv Blanc glass in your hand. And I thought, I met this winemaker a number of months ago, and he explained to us at a wine tasting that what he was trying to do with Sauvignon Blanc was to do it in a different way. A lot of Sauvignon Blancs are those green, grassy Sauvignon. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging. Maybe I am. But it's often seen as the entry-level wine. It's easy wine to make. It's easy wine to drink. It's the cheapest of the varietals. And it's often sort of exactly this hand motion, kind of that's how wine snobs kind of. But you don't have to do it that way. You can improve it. You can do better. You can even go to connoisseur level with Sauvignon Blanc. And I remember at the wine tasting, he was joking with the fact that every year, just to irritate the Sauvignon Blanc community, he enters his Sauvignon Blancs in the annual competition. And it doesn't taste like your typical Sauvignon Blanc. So they
don't know how to do it.
They don't know how to judge it. He'll never win. He's not trying to win. He's just trying to irritate people who make what he thinks is sort of slightly low level. But you know a little bit about Ataraxia, don't you?
Yeah, no, so I love this, Graham, and so I was delighted when you chose this. I'm sorry to disappoint you, because
I was trying to introduce you to something, and it's already your favorite.
No, so as we've said, Graham is far more of a wine knower and connoisseur than I am, and that's why I also love drinking wine with Graham, because I learn a lot. And so, Sauvignon Blanc is often people turn their noses up at it, but I love this wine. So I love the taste of this wine.
Again. We're not sponsored by these guys, we just love them.
So I love the taste, and we've said, there's no right wrong in investment, there's no right wrong in enjoying wine. I happen to love the label, which for me is an angel. I've got lots of tattoos, and one of my tattoos on my arm is about angels, so that was sort of an attraction. I love the winemaker and the story, and you've relayed some of it and how they've come about. They make this wine in a part of our country that wasn't traditionally a place where wine was made. So I like that they went to a place, New Frontiers.
They're very high up on the valley. He chose it. He's actually a geologist. It's similar to Gary Jordan at Jordan Wines. Those are two geologists, two winemakers. And he chose the land not because of the soil, but because of the rock underneath. It's a fascinating story.
Absolutely. And so I love that they went to a new place. Many people can't make wine. They certainly can't make a good wine there. You can't start these equities at wine. It's interesting.
You love your wine.
I do love this analogy. It's great. And so I love that this, for me, is a super classy wine, but it's sort of disguised as this common thing. And it's accessible.
Now, if you are not a fan of Sauvignon Blanc, and you're a fan of fine wines, you will surprise yourself by having this. If you are a fan of Sauvignon Blanc, I think this is the improvement of Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
I think this is Sauvignon Blanc done fine wine connoisseur way.
And this is high praise from somebody who's not a Sauvignon Blanc fan. And
Exactly.
one other thing I think to mention about these guys during COVID, which was a really bad time for people across the world, and businesses, and particularly business, wine farms who couldn't sell. The innovation that came from Ataraxia during the time was phenomenal. The customer service that came from them. So I ordered lots of wine. They had all kinds of specials and stuff during the time to keep the farm going, to keep people employed. Their delivery afterwards was exceptional. They didn't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. Innovation is so important. And my last forcing the analogy of wine investment, it's true of easy equities as well. We've got to, where we were, 10 years ago is not relevant necessarily anymore. We've constantly got to innovate. And none of our conversations have been planned, Graham, but I must and want to end with a bit of a plug for you professionally and in our friendship. I love the fact that you have not stayed in one place. So when we met 20 years ago and you did some work with and for me at the company I was at, you've reinvented yourself and continue to reinvent yourself tremendously. When did you start drinking wine?
Only about 10 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah. And look at you now in terms of a connoisseur. So, I love the fact, and maybe that's also a thing to say to people that have joined us in this conversation, is innovate, challenge yourself, trust yourself, and enjoy it while you're doing it. So a big thank you for these conversations. It's been really nice, and thank you for the Ataraxia.
I knew it would be an afternoon well spent. We've chunked it up into small videos. I hope you've enjoyed them. If you haven't watched them all, there's a series of them. Go back and have a look. Carel, I knew it would be good times.
Thank you.
Thank you. To the future.
Enjoy. To the future.